Hello, 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 shining ones. How are we doing on this 1212 portal? Um, this is me doing this recording today to close off my 2024 before I step in fully into the role that I am here to share with the world as part of the service of being who I be and who I'm here to be in this human experience, in my whole divine blueprint to be able to bring through in this human vessel, in this now timeline. So I just want to take a moment to acknowledge this moment right now. And to take this moment to acknowledge myself in all multidimensional facets and versions of myself, in all timelines, in all universes, in all dimensions, because I have chosen to bring through all facets of me in this now timeline as I choose to. Now, a big thing also for me to share today would be as the last year has unfolded for me. It came to me leading up to this transmission and sharing that this past year has been me pretty much meeting myself, meeting who I am choosing to be. It's very, very fascinating for me because start of the year, the journey that I have been embarking on with the Blue Diamond and Kopu temple in Thames and the divine Tirakura. Sister, your work and your mahi and your essence and who you be has created this platform and foundation that has supported me in different facets of the initiation, daily initiation, as I should say, because if I hadn't got that connection and if Tirakura wasn't who she is, this co-creation wouldn't have unfolded the way it has. And so January, was quite a interesting time for me as I was at my sister's wedding, but the journey that was done through the Blue Diamond Group to Waikare Moana, what actually happened is that the weekend that the group went down there, I was at my sister's wedding, but when I came home and when the group dispersed after the immersion, I got the frequency, the frequency reach me, right, through the etherics. And so I went through a massive purge, like it was one of the darkest purges that I went into for at least 4 days, and it was very gnarly for me because it took me into a space where I had to purge and to feel through and to process through the darkness of what had come through. And, and it was stuff to do with, the past, and not the past that I recall it as my past, but from the lineage. So anyway, that started off my 2024 with a bang, and then followed up in March when the foundation and the opportunity was set again with Kopu Temple to embark on the journey, the 8-day journey to the South Island. And divinely everything aligned. And that was my first trip to the South Island. Now, interestingly enough, one of the spaces that we visited is Castle Hill. Now, Castle Hill is known famously as the words of, and describing it as the birthplace of gods. Now, I can assure from my experience that after I returned back from that trip, life quantum leaped, or life became a very, very broad spectrum of opportunities for me that started showing up. And not just showing up, not that they weren't there before, but what started happening is that they would show up in now time. And I was able to action them in now time, even with having those, niggles of self-doubt or self-judgment or whatever feelings were there, trying to sort of shackle me to that bandwidth. But what started happening is that I would go through those processes, but I would also have the sort of clarity, right, when it needed to be fully actioned and shifted out from. And so that in itself landed me and my human into a timeline that gave me whatever I desired, right? And what actually happened after that is that when this all aligned and it became so surreal but so real, in that moment, what had happened that it didn't feel good for me in my human, not in the sense of that it felt yucky or anything, but I came into that awareness for myself that what I was doing was creating more work for myself, trying to create this separation within my human of having this separate priestess code happening. And what I was then shown, and I can also share this experience, is that when you are soul aligned and when you make the choices and you take the risks to make these choices, even if they are, all new, and we don't like to go into the new because of getting hurt or whatever it is, what happens is that you will be shown whatever the fuck it is that you need to see at that time to shift out of that situation, right? Because if you choose to shift out of it and you are genuinely, within self, truthful and taking radical self-responsibility, and when you are true to yourself fully, what will happen is that you will be guided, and the guidance will be so strong, and you will be shown, like, you won't be shown that, oh, this is what you need to do. You will be, in your awareness, you'll be shown the difference of the lenses and the perspective. And what started happening for me also after the South Island is that on the last day of our South Island journey, I remember when it came to the group sharing, we went around in the circle, and that evening was a new experience for me because I was shown straight away as soon as the circle started that I was to share with the group a experience that had happened for me a few months earlier. And when I shared this experience with the group, the reception, the response back from anyone in the group was pretty much non-existent. Well, wouldn't say non-existent in the sense of, no one came to ask me about it, or no one came to, even were curious about it. And, no judgment on anyone, and I didn't need validation from anyone, but it got me pondering. And I was like, well, this is interesting. And in that moment, I started processing what this meant. And what that came to me was that these people are not ready to receive the message that has been coming through me. And I felt in my human that I wasn't being recognized, and I had put myself in a group, and I am keeping myself, hidden, so to speak, right? Because it started setting me into more awareness within self and pondering on why, I am part of this group and what I am desiring moving forth. And so anyway, when the unfolding from after South Island happened, the biggest thing that taught me a lot has been the art of human relations and how to be able to have the balance between being in your divine essence in the human, and how if one desires and chooses to, shift away from any entanglements that we are tied to in current times. And so at the end of the day, what a big anchoring for me has been that I get to choose now. I am not here to save the world by doing things outside of me, that when I'm 80, I'm sitting there and saying to all the younger generation, that because of me, you're going to have a good life, because I set this up for you, sort of thing. I did not desire that. My biggest awareness blew open when I was like, no. I am here to live this life. I am here to live this divine blueprint, so to anchor in the vibration for the future generation. And it starts with me. And I went deeper within, and I started living life inside out. And when I started doing that, what happened is it showed me the perspective of being the witness. And being the witness blew open so many other divine ways of getting to know myself and learning how to nurture myself and my human. And I also realized that doing all the extra bits and pieces didn't need to be done. I already was and am living is the priestess that I'm here to be. And so halfway through the year, I saw my alignment shifting, and then the words came to me that it's not personal, it's alignment, right? So my schooling, I should say, from the etherics came in the form of, well, what are you to do when you're part of a group or when you're part of something in now time, and then things shift in a day or 2 or hours in now time, and you feel obligated, or your human feels obligated to it, or when you try and shift out of it to untangle yourself and create room for what is in alignment, and then the whiplash from that, with other parties involved, how to navigate through all of that with ease and grace. And my biggest gratitude again goes to the Kopu Temple, because through that connection, she brought me Manifestival 888 and connection with the beautiful Carmel and Sisters Collective, which then again, next level, has opened me up to the service that I'm here to live as, and to create my unique imprint in now time. And also through this last year, I've been resourced, through the etherics with different tools to be able to unwind and unbind timelines and to shut timelines that are currently running that we are no longer choosing. And the other big anchoring has been for me in the terms of who I'm here to serve. So, simply put, in a nutshell, I am here to guide those that are willing to shift timelines or shift out of whatever it is. If you're not happy, right, do something about it. Sitting there and pondering on it, or sitting there being miserable because you feel like, you just joined something today and now it doesn't feel good, or it felt good at the time and now it doesn't, or if you are feeling like, you're not being seen, or you're keeping your gifts hidden by any sort of spectrum, it's time to look outside the narrative. I am here to bring in the new vibration and the new way of doing things that you will not find in books, right? And I am not here to, to tell you how to do certain things, or how to clear things, how to meditate, how to have ease and grace in your daily. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do to personalize the experience by using my ways of doing things. But what I'm here to guide you through is how it is a next level experience in this human when you start doing things your own way, right? Everything is a guideline. So what I am here to share is not written in any books. I can assure you that, because the way I get shown certain things and the awareness that I get from my ponderings and my staff meetings with the divine, in my divine, shows me how frequency works and how potent it is in now time to, be able to create your own toroidal field to be able to hold that frequency. So I am here for those that are willing to do what it needs to be done to get you into your alignment, right? And the best thing is that if you are triggered by anything, anyone, any word, nothing, if you can sit there and ponder on that, I assure you, you will find a shift. And the other big thing that's come through for me as well is how to be able to observe but not absorb, right? And how to be able to discern, certain things in life. Discernment is a huge thing. Secondly, the other aspect is that we are all patriarchies, divine beings, ancestors and stuff, and we are all multidimensional. So my question, one of the questions that I ask myself is that why is it that we limit ourselves and go, okay, well, I'm here with, doing Buddhism things, and so if someone shares with me about, say a a meditation that's in Sanskrit or something, I'm not even going to look at it, right? Because this is what happens. This is where we end up capping ourselves and limiting ourselves, because at the end of the day, everyone goes on saying about, I'm a multidimensional being, right? I'm here to be multidimensional. Well, what does that mean for you? So what I am going to do now is I am going to end this transmission by taking this opportunity to take a breath, because I have been talking heaps, is we like to share. And I'm going to do a card pull. Well, I actually already did a card pull this morning, so I am just going to read out what that came to. Now, the card this morning that came through, so these are the Mary Magdalene cards. The card this morning that came through is the first power. Darkness makes vision possible. So that's there, beautiful. The first power. So, the first power, page number 2 and 3, 23, which is number 5. 23 is also 23rd of January is my divine handler, my fur baby, Kovi's birthday, Earth Day. So, here we go. Darkness is a power of the ego that can convince us we're alone, separate and disconnected. Sometimes darkness comes so we can practice a form of vision that becomes possible only when all sources of eternal light leave us. In the Gospel of Mary, after Mary has revealed the secret teachings that Christ gave to her, Peter doesn't believe her. He says, "Has the Savior spoken secretly and not openly so that we would all hear? Surely he did not want to show that she is more worthy than we are." Then Mary weeps and responds, "My brother Peter, what are you imagining? Do you think that I have thought up these things by myself in my heart, or that I am telling lies about the Savior?" Darkness is hard. It's a pain of betrayal. It's the fear of being truly alone. It's the heaviness that comes when we sincerely believe we are not connected anymore to those we most love. Darkness is a very difficult power to be bound to. Within darkness, though, there is a form of vision that becomes available, the most powerful form possible. That comes from the light sourced from within us. When those we love the most leave, when we feel cut off from hope, the ensuing darkness gives us the chance to practice seeing the light that originates from within. How do we learn to see in the dark? We use the darkness, that feeling of being cut off from all external sources of love in our lives, to harness the tremendous love that's right here within us, always. We see then our own source of love, and we feel again the deepest power that exists in this world, the power of love that's innate to us, the power that seeps out from within the heart, as if from another world, and as if within the potency of every being that has ever lived before us. The love that reminds us of our worthiness just for existing, just for being human. The presence of love that knows us by heart. The presence of love that some of us only find again when every other source of love has left us. The question is, what vision does this current darkness make possible? Amazing, amazing, amazing card. So, to end my divine share, I would love to share with everyone a very auspicious opportunity that has landed in my basket. and that is happening tomorrow, divinely. I am being interviewed on a podcast by a divine soul being to support my human to shift into the role that is here for me, that I'm here for. So, as a lot of people know, that, for me, is like everyone else stepping into whatever it is we're meant to step into. I don't have cancel that and clear that. Up until now, I have been cultivating, the inner stamina in my human to be able to move into the role that I am here to serve as, and to be able to create a desired work, a mahi, for myself. So tomorrow morning, I'm part of a podcast that is going to pretty much, put me on the platform. So I'm super, super, super excited for it. A little bit nervous, but super excited. Divinely, my outfit came to me through the etherics, which is another divine magical share for another day. But now I just want to take a moment and thank every being and every person in every situation, in every entanglements, untanglements that have interweaved with my storyline for 2024. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I thank you. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you, I thank you. "2025 is going to be next level for those that are choosing to be in the vibration that they are choosing. It doesn't matter where you think you are on your journey. And one little tip that I would love to share as a parting gift that came to me. So as things unfolded and I've gone through, all my crunchy times, I like to take the scenic route. So, as I've had my boohoo moments and gotten emotional and reacted to life, happening to me, and sort of blocking myself from that whole thing of like, oh, it's happening for me, as we do. One of the really cool things that came to me is that what came into my awareness is that, think about this. How powerful, right? Especially when you're going through your crunchy times. Think about it this way. How powerful are you to be able to cause yourself so much suffering, right? To be able to block yourself from these opportunities and alignments through programming or whatever the reason is, right? But isn't that such a different and unique perspective to go, holy crap, yes, I'm miserable right now, but how powerful am I to be able to block those things, Anyway, I get super excited when I start, going into these shares. But for now, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for choosing you. Thank you for receiving me. And I love you and I love me.